Last Saturday, want to say thank you and the players for appreciating the fans. I thought as a fan base last Saturday we were galvanised, and I wanted to ask you about the style of football. I spoke to Louis before you came up, and it looked like a different style, Scott. I know you only had 2 days to sort of prepare, but is this the way you're going to play going forward? It seemed more attacking, a bit more free flowing, but I'm sure obviously having a week with the boys, that's probably a bit more tightened up now. But what's your style of football going forward?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be, Stevie. You know, I mean, fans come to games to be excited, let's be honest, you know what I mean? And I want to see exciting football. I want to play football in the right way, you know, in terms of getting in the final third. You want to see crosses in the box, you want to see shots at goals, and that's what gets the fans excited, you know. And I thought that was one of the big things last week, and I think that's why we really appreciated the fans at the end. There's not often you go to a game of football and you've been beat 3-1 and the fans give you the response they did. So I thought that was really important that we went over and we thanked them for that, because that's crucial, and they're going to be crucial in terms of us going forward, getting behind the boys. So, no, listen, appreciate we didn't win the game last week, but I think the fans appreciate in terms of the way we want to go and play football, and that's the way we want to go and play football, and we've worked a lot on that this week, which the boys have been excellent on the training ground, and we just need to maybe be a little bit more cuter in terms of shutting the back door. Obviously we want to defend as a team, but we need to attack as a team, so it's getting that balance right. So, no, that's where we're at, Stevie.
And then, as a fan base, you're all galvanised, and I think you'll probably see it amongst the players now. Obviously the club has lifted a little bit in terms of what happened last week, but we're starting playing for an invisible trophy, aren't we? Because maybe before administration we were looking to maybe, I'm not saying not go up the league, but it looked like mid-table, but now we're playing for something. That staying up is probably winning the league for you guys at the moment, Scott. Is that something you can put as a carrot in front of the boys' heads?
Yeah, absolutely. The boys, I said that to the boys last week actually before the game. I says, listen, we know it's a massive task ahead of us, and we can't get carried away saying this and saying that, and this is what we're going to do. So it's important that we just try and take each game as it comes. So we're looking at obviously Saturday Kelty. We know it's going to be a hard game like every game is in this league, but we just need to look to win the game of football, and then if we can get a result on Saturday, which we hope we can, we'll look to the following week. But there's no point as setting targets saying we want to do this, we want to do that. Obviously our main aim is to stay in the league. That's massive, that's crucial, I think we all know that, but we just need to focus on day by day, week to week, game by game, and see where it takes us. You know, we'll keep our heads down, we'll keep close knit in terms of ourselves and the fans. We all need to make sure we're in it together. That togetherness that I've spoke about with the players, the fans have a massive part to play in that. And I know I keep going back to it, I thought last week they were absolutely terrific.
No, I agree. And on Kelty, I mean, we're in the sort of second wave of games now. You've played each team once. The game down there wasn't a great game, it was tight, but does this make it a bit easier? You know what you're up against now, and it's a bit of an easier sort of pre-match team talk?
I wish it was as simple as that, Stevie, but I get what you're saying. No, it doesn't make it any easier at all. You know, I think we have to appreciate that every game, I said it last week, is going to be a cup final, and I think that's the way we need to look at it. We need to go out there and we need to treat every game differently, because obviously teams are different in terms of styles that they want to play. But as you say, we played them down there. It was a horrible game of football. I remember it being really windy and that. So, no, we're at home, so we need to go and have a go. We need to be positive. We need to win the game of football. Draws are not going to be enough for us, you know, and we certainly don't want to get beat. So it's really important that we look to have one thing in our minds, and that's to go and win the game of football.
And lastly, status in Charlie Riley. I know he was injured and he's still with us, isn't he? Is he due back anytime soon?
Yeah, he's still with us, so hopefully he'll. We've been keeping an eye on how he's getting on, and hopefully we'll get him back maybe in, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks time. We'll see how he goes with his rehab and that sort of things and his recovery. But no, hopefully we can get him back soon, because I think he'll have a massive part to play with us.
Exactly. Good luck starting, Scott. Cheers.
Thanks, Stevie. Top man. Cheers.
You know, obviously, I think everyone was relieved that only five, hard as it was for the guys that had to leave, only 5 players went. But you've still got a real challenge on your hands, keeping that squad fit and on the park, haven't you? Because it's going to be a tough season, and injuries and suspensions.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with you in terms of, we still have a good squad. There's no getting away from that. We're going to have to rely on the younger ones to step in at times. Last week, I had a couple of younger boys come in, and I thought they did great, but little bits of experience can play a part as well, and that's where, all these younger boys are going to play their part. Still, we've got 25 games to go. I mean, we're going to need everybody, there's no doubt about that. So, no, the younger boys have stepped up in the training ground. So no, we'll just be positive as much as we can with them.
One common thing that's come out of a lot of administrations is that young lads that maybe wouldn't get a chance have blossomed. It might only be one or two at a club, but these guys have got to know now they've got a chance of their lives.
Absolutely, and that's the same for us all in terms of, I mean, I'm getting this opportunity myself, so I'm desperate to do well for the football club because it's been my club for the last over 20 years, so I'll give it everything I've got. But I know all these young boys that have come through the system, and they've got the same mindset as well. They'll give it everything they've got, and hopefully the older boys can help them and take them along and give them wee bits of advice to help them as much as I can as well.
Yeah, and it's just been a 20-year preparation for you to...
It has been. It's been a long time, and don't get me wrong, it's been an incredible journey right from the start, from when I came in and started in the community, worked my way through the youth, and then obviously I'm in and around the reserves and the first team and that sort of things. But it's given me a great grounding, a brilliant grounding, working with different managers, seeing different styles, what you would do, what maybe I might not do in terms of, and then I've got to put my own ideas on it as well. And I'm big on, you come to a game of football, the fans want to enjoy it, they want to be on the edge of their seat, and that's what I'll try and portray with the players. And the players have sort of picked up on that, and I think the fans, they've seen that last week, and I think they appreciated it.
Just a last one for me, we've talked about how it's galvanised the fans already, and Stevie was there, but it can obviously galvanise the players as well, because it's a cause, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I said that to them. I says, what this club's done in its short history in 30 years, I mean, winning the Scottish Cup, incredible, playing in Europe, League Cup, some special semi-final wins at Easter Road and that sort of things. I said that to the boys. I says, go and make yourselves a memory. Go and make yourself a memory that will last with you for the rest of your life. And if we manage to stay in this league, which I really hope we do, you'll talk about it for years to come down when you're in your 30s, 40s and that, and say, because we do it now, we still talk about moments that we had, Nick Ross scoring at Easter Road, what a day that was. So I said that to the boys in terms of, go and create yourselves a memory that you'll talk about for the rest of your lives.
And sorry, I said one last
thing. You go off.
I was just going to say, you touched on it with Stevie, but how big an achievement, I'm not going to ask you this every week, but I'll ask you the first time I spoke to you, how big an achievement would it be to stay in the league?
Massive.
Would it be like Stevie says, winning a trophy? Basically?
Yes. Oh, it's, as he said, that invisible trophy that we'll never see, but as I just said there, we'll create a memory of, because people haven't given us a chance. It's a massive task, and we all know that, but it will be huge. Absolutely huge. I'll put it up there against anything that we've done at the club so far, and we've done a lot in this short history that the club's had.
Great stuff. Sorry, Charlie.
No, that's fine, because that relieves me of the need to ask that particular one. But as far as the fans are concerned, reports are that they were really vociferous and behind you last Saturday. That's going to be multiplied by goodness knows what with a home attendance. Are you hoping for a real atmosphere in here on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. And it was the one thing I was actually just delighted with. I mean, I came up the road after the game on Saturday, and I probably should have been down and really, I can't think of the word to say, but I came away and I went over the fans and I thought, no, they want this as much as me and I want this as much as them, in terms of galvanising all the players, the fans, getting us back together again and getting us being that family again, where, listen, we've always done great as a club. What we've done has been incredible, and we need to get back to having that sort of, being that underdog and that sort of siege mentality when we go into games. We're in it together, as and the fans, and it was just great to see them last week, and they gave me a massive lift. I went up the road more positive, more determined to try and get it right for them.
Are your pre-match motivational speeches all like that?
They're a wee bit, listen, Charlie, I just want the best for the boys. I want the best for the club. As I say, this club's given me over 20 years of my life to myself and the family, and I've worked really hard, and that's just what I do every day, and it's what I expect off the players and the staff and everybody's been brilliant in terms of around the club, try to be positive and try to be upbeat, and we get going again. So when I see the fans the way they have been, we can't ask much more than that.
Final one, from what Louis was saying, it seems that your training methods, schedules and so on are rather different. I think the players seem to be noticing the difference.
Yeah, well, I hope so. That's nice to hear. I've just thought of what to tweak wee things in terms of maybe what we might do in the final third, in terms of like working on getting balls in the box and little things like that. Give them wee ideas where giving that maybe that wee bit of freedom as well. As in they have to play what they see at times. So no, listen, the boys have responded great. They've been excellent in training. They're upbeat. They're positive, and that's all you can ask for every day. Is that they work hard, and only hard work will get us where we need to get to go.
One more actually, you mentioned the final third, but let's look at the final third of the game, because apparently it wasn't great last week. Is there a need to improve the final third in terms of fitness perhaps? Yeah,
maybe, Charlie, that's a fair point. I take that, and I wouldn't say the boys need to get fitter. I wouldn't say that at all. They just need to be probably believing themselves more when it gets into the final part of the game, in terms of being more positive and that sort of things. But listen, that was probably the only frustrating part of the game last week. We probably lost our way for maybe 15 minutes in the game. 15 minutes, and maybe we'd have to manage that a bit better. They've scored a goal from a set play, but because we had a good sort of part of the game where we're in control, we're probably thinking, including myself, that we wanted to go and get the equaliser, like we did when we were 1-0 down. But we've sort of lost our way for that 10-15 minutes, and then they got the third goal in it. I don't think it was a fair reflection on the game, but I would like us to try and finish games stronger, which we've discussed. So no, we need to, and that's probably the big thing I've said to the players all week. We need to attack as a team, but we also need to defend as a team, and we all need to have each other's backs. I think that's very important.
Great, Scott. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good stuff, Scott.